Welcome back, dear subscribers, to another thrilling episode of Storyteller. Tonight, we venture into the heart of darkness, where the lines between the living and the dead blur. Sit back, turn off the lights, and prepare yourself for the night the spirits roamed, the haunted forest tale. In the quiet town of Ravenswood, whispered legends spoke of a forest that no one dared to enter after dark. They called it the Shadowwood. Ancient trees stood tall, their twisted branches resembling gnarled fingers that seemed to reach for the souls of the brave, or foolish enough to wander in. Emily, a young journalist with a penchant for the paranormal, had heard these stories all her life. She decided it was time to uncover the truth. Armed with a flashlight, a notebook, and a camera, she set off just as the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting long, eerie shadows that danced on the forest floor. As she stepped into the forest, the temperature seemed to drop, and an unnatural silence enveloped her. The only sounds were the crunch of leaves underfoot and the distant hoot of an owl. The deeper she went, the more oppressive the atmosphere became, as if the forest itself was alive and watching. Emily's flashlight flickered, casting fleeting beams of light that revealed glimpses of movement in the corner of her eyes. Just the wind, she told herself, trying to calm the growing unease gnawing at her insides. But she couldn't shake the feeling that she was not alone. She came across an old abandoned campsite. The remnants of a fire pit and a few rusted tin cans were the only indicators that someone had been there before. As she bent down to inspect the area, a cold breeze rustled through the trees, carrying with it a faint whisper, "Leave, now." Ignoring the warning, Emily pressed on. Her curiosity was stronger than her fear. She continued deeper into the heart of Shadowwood, each step echoing in the unnatural silence. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, but still, she persisted. Suddenly, her flashlight beam fell upon a figure standing just ahead. It was a woman, dressed in tattered clothing, her eyes hollow and lifeless. Emily's heart raced. She called out, "Hello? Are you okay?" The woman didn't respond. Instead, she raised a bony hand and pointed deeper into the forest. Emily's instincts screamed at her to run, but her feet moved forward, drawn by an unseen force. She soon found herself in a small clearing, bathed in an otherworldly glow. In the center stood an ancient stone altar, covered in strange, indecipherable symbols. The air was thick with the smell of damp earth and decay. Emily's breath came in shallow gasps as she approached the altar. Without warning, a chorus of ghostly voices surrounded her, chanting in a language she couldn't understand. Shadows began to materialize, taking on the forms of spectral figures. They moved closer, their faces twisted in sorrow and pain. Emily fumbled for her camera, determined to document the phenomenon. As she raised it to her eye, a blinding light erupted from the altar, and she was thrown to the ground. The last thing she saw before losing consciousness was the woman from before, standing over her with a sad, knowing expression. When she awoke, it was morning. The forest seemed almost normal in the daylight, the terror of the night before feeling like a distant nightmare. Her camera was gone, and her notebook lay open beside her, the pages filled with words she didn't remember writing. The spirits of Shadowwood are bound by ancient grief. Those who seek them will find only despair. Emily stumbled out of the forest, vowing never to return. She had her story, but it came at a price. The haunted forest had left its mark on her, a constant reminder of the night the spirits roamed. Thank you for joining us on this chilling journey into the haunted heart of Shadowwood. If you enjoyed this story, please give us a thumbs up share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to Storyteller for more tales that will keep you up at night. Until next time, sweet dreams, if you can.